Milos Kerkez, what a player. Like, if you want to know anything about how good at football Milos Kerkez is, how valuable to this Liverpool team Milos Kerkez could be, there is one clip that you simply have to watch. It's one clip that demonstrates the brilliance of Kerkez, and it will only take you about 14 seconds to watch. That's the pace that he moves at, and it totally encapsulates the player. The moment happened at St James's Park. Bournemouth are playing away at St James's Park, and we are in the 96th minute. The game is practically over. Bournemouth fans in the away end, a mile in the sky at St James's Park, are going potty with a famous, what they think to be, 3-1 win. 3-1 away from home for Bournemouth at Newcastle. It's historic. Everyone's happy with that, aren't they? Everyone apart from one man. As the game enters the 96th minute, Milos Kerkez, who is practically on the edge of his own box, decides to make a run for it. A fullback for cover, a keeper to beat, a centre-half coming over to double up. He didn't let it put him off at all. He picks the ball up, he drops a shoulder, then suddenly, bang, an unstoppable force into the back of the net. Bournemouth go 4-1 up, and Kerkez celebrates. If you want to know anything about Kerkez, just watch that moment. It's a microcosm of who he is. And imagine doing that for Bournemouth at St James's Park. What is this guy capable of? Everything about it is just poetry. The determination, the hunger, the will to win, the desire, the energy, and the finish. It's a finish that we've seen before, but we've generally seen it from some of the most accomplished wingers to have ever played the game. Ryan Giggs scored plenty of goals like that. Riyad Mahrez scored plenty of goals like that. Damien Duff scored plenty of goals like that. Arjen Robben scored plenty of goals like that. Sadio Mane scored plenty of goals like that. But what do all of those players have in common? They are progressive, naturally attacking footballers. Players whose motivation and reasoning to be on the pitch was to score goals. Kerkez is different. This is a fullback scoring a goal of that quality. A goal that Sadio Mane would be proud of. And he actually has everything that Liverpool need. Power, pace, determination, proven ability, youthfulness, and the desire to make it to the very top. It really is a powerful concoction. And it's one that's obviously so appealing to Liverpool, as they do need reinforcements in that position. I'm terribly sorry to interrupt this video, but could you do me a quick favour? If you're new around here, please click that subscribe button. It really does help me out. I'd love to welcome you into this community. Thank you very much. Click subscribe. Andy Robertson has been great. He's been one of the Premier League greatest left-backs. He will undoubtedly go down as a Liverpool great, and he was integral to all of the good moments that Liverpool have had over the past decade or so. But I don't think Liverpool fans like to say this because they love him so much and they don't want it to be true. But when you're not a Liverpool fan, you can have a bit more perspective. Andy Robertson at that level is done. And again, I can be quite frank here. Costa Tsimikas is not good enough to play for Liverpool, so Liverpool need reinforcements. I'm not saying that Andy Robertson can't contribute to Liverpool's season next season. He most certainly can. His know-how, his nous, his experience can be utilised many a time by Arne Slot. Slot is lucky to have a player of Robertson's quality in the camp, but he needs to be used sparingly. He needs to be wrapped in cotton wool. Slot needs to pick his moments. When is the time to deploy Andy Robertson? Maybe it's away at the Bernabeu, or maybe it's a home fixture against Fulham when the Bernabeu is waiting for you on a Tuesday night. Slot will get that right. I'm not writing Andy Robertson off here, not at all. But he cannot be an ever-present anymore. He cannot be the guarantee that he has been over the past half a decade for Liverpool. So the Liverpool hierarchy need to do something about it. They need to equalise this. They need to roll with the punches, and they need to evolve. Regeneration. It's so key to football clubs. They tried it with Tsimikas. He is not good enough. He just isn't a Liverpool quality player. He's a good player, but he's not a Liverpool player. So Liverpool need to delve into the transfer market. And what they need to do is they need to go and sign a best in class. And yet again, they have done it. Kerkez is the perfect player for Liverpool to sign because he's a very good player now who could be a world beater tomorrow. He's 21 years old. He's just made it into the Premier League team of the season. You look at the form that he has displayed last year for Bournemouth, and you think about the player that he could be tomorrow. Imagine him, the tutelage of Arne Slot, the coaching abilities of Andy Robertson, telling him how to perfect his craft, playing in a back line with Virgil van Dijk, playing in front of Alisson. He is only going to get better, and that is why this is such an impressive signing for Liverpool. It is the perfect signing because they're signing a very good player today who over the next decade could become a world-class player. Good today, brilliant tomorrow. And it's that succession plan. It's that evolution. It's that redefinition that Liverpool are so good at. And I'm going to go back to it again. Strengthen when you are already strong. Strengthen positions of strength. Strengthen when you are at the top. It's what champions do. And the fact that Liverpool are constantly making strides, intelligent strides, in the transfer market when they are already sitting top of the league as champions, when they already have the best team in the league, they have gone out and they have improved it better than anyone else has so far. In fact, I'm going to scrap what I just said there. It's not better than anyone else has so far. There is no way that, assuming that these deals are done, that anyone can have a better transfer window than Liverpool. Liverpool have already won the window. They have positions where they need to improve. They know that they need something else to go on at left back, and they go and sign the best left back that will move this summer. They know that they needed an added bit of flair, some more goals, some more assists, some more vision, some more craft in the middle. And they go and they sign the best attacking midfielder that will move this summer. Richard Hughes, man. And you just know that this is going to work. You just know that it's going to be a good signing. There's no jeopardy here because we've watched Kerkez play. We know what he's like. We do it with our eyes. We use the eye test. But Liverpool are so data-driven. Of course, they also use the eye test. But it means that Kerkez is succeeding on 3 metrics, 3 very important metrics. You watch him play, and he's excellent. The data will back up what you already think from watching him play, and then the statistics tell their own story. Data, eyes, statistic. Kerkez flies on all 3. And it's so interesting, isn't it, that it's Richard Hughes who is at the forefront of these discussions with his former club, Bournemouth. Actually, about a player that he signed for Bournemouth. You know, when Kerkez joined Bournemouth from AZ Alkmaar in 2023, it was actually Richard Hughes who negotiated that deal. And there's no doubt that Richard Hughes and his opposite number will get this deal done. They're currently arguing, quibbling, over about 5 million quid. Liverpool want to pay 40 million. Bournemouth have decided that the player is worth 45 million. They will work this out. The compromise will obviously be agreed. And you can understand why Bournemouth are saying that he's worth more than Liverpool want to pay. He's young, he's incredibly gifted, and he's got 3 years left on his contract. But ultimately, Bournemouth only paid 15.5 million quid for him. So the fact that they are going to treble their money suggests that everybody is actually a winner in this deal. Shows you, doesn't it? What a great job Richard Hughes is doing. Firstly, at the vitality. You know, he's done really well for Bournemouth, but you think about the workings and the manoeuvrings that he has done since he's arrived at Liverpool. Working in tandem with Arne Slot. He clearly chimes with the Arne Slot vision. And whilst the world was focusing on Liverpool, and we were saying that they had a problem, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, are these players going to sign? Behind the scenes, things were ticking over, and not only did they sign the 2 world-class players that they had to sign, but they have also analysed their own squad, identified problems before they become problems. What I nearly said there was what Liverpool did really well was find the Achilles heel in the team and go and equalise it, but that isn't what they did. They didn't allow the Achilles heel to actually develop. It's such a good strategy. You solve a problem before the problem exists. Generally speaking, what we do is we solve problems in football clubs where there is one. Chelsea need to sign a striker. The reason we need to sign a striker is because we've had a proven track record of a striker that couldn't score enough goals. Arsenal need to sign a striker. Why do they need to sign a striker? They need to sign a striker because there's a proven track record of the centre-forward in that team not scoring enough goals. What Liverpool have done here is so intelligent because they've solved the problem before the problem exists. Liverpool didn't really have a problem at left-back last year. Andy Robertson played very well towards the end of the season. Tsimikas can do a job. And nobody looked at that Liverpool team and thought that there was a problem at left-back. Similarly, nobody looked at that midfield and felt like Dom Szoboszlai wasn't doing enough. But when you drill down into it, you can see that the problem could exist. And if Liverpool were to go one step further, retaining a Premier League title, think about how difficult it is to retain a Premier League title. Think about the brilliant managers that have worked in this league that have not managed to retain a league title. Arsene Wenger never retained a league title. Antonio Conte never retained a league title. Carlo Ancelotti never retained a league title. It's really, really difficult to do. And the fact now that Liverpool are going to try and do something that they have never done in the Premier League era suggests that they're going to have to find and tweak the problems in this squad that to the naked eye may not exist. Which is why elevating the midfield option with Florian Wirtz is so intelligent. So Szoboszlai had a good season, but he only scored 7 goals. Look at the output from Florian Wirtz. It's 3 times that. Robertson finished the season strongly. You could easily say that they're going to be fine in that position, and Robbo definitely has another year, but again, Richard Hughes solving problems before they even exist. And that is where Kerkez comes in, because he has established himself as one of the best left-backs in the league. In fact, scrap that. Kerkez has established himself as one of the best left-back prospects in Europe. Over the past 2 seasons, he has been very good, and last season, he was exceptional. I've seen some people suggesting that Liverpool are being a bit brave here, signing a player off the back of one good season, and that isn't true at all. He was very good the previous season. It's just Bournemouth caught the eye more last year. At one point, we thought Bournemouth were going to qualify for Europe, maybe even the Champions League. And a lot of people have been aware of him on the continent. Before Bournemouth signed him, it was looking like he was going to head to Lazio. You know, he had a good season with AZ Alkmaar, and Lazio were really, really desperate to sign him. But Bournemouth got their man. He picked the Vitality. He picked the Vitality over the Stadio Olimpico, which is nuts, but different conversation altogether. And there is pedigree here. You know, he was born in Serbia, but he was at AC Milan as a youngster. You know, he had to go to AZ to get his breakthrough, and it didn't really come for him until he was in the Eredivisie. But as a kid, he was at AC Milan, and he's now going to go to Anfield. And he's going to link up with his compatriot, Dominik Szoboszlai, in a year when the Champions League final is in Budapest. Feels like there is something really, really palpable going on at Liverpool. They're moving in the right direction. They're making very intelligent signings. It's all young. It's all progressive. It's all noble. It's all for tomorrow, but also for today. And sprinkling in this youth to be mixed with the experience of a Van Dijk or an Alisson or a Mohamed Salah, it really is a recipe for success. And he really is a player. You know, Kerkez arrived in the Premier League at 19 years old, had a very good season then, and then at 20, he had an exceptional season. What is he going to do by 21? In fact, imagine the player he is at 30, and Liverpool are getting it right again. It really is as simple as that. People are saying he's overpriced. I don't really see it. They've gone and they've signed a player who had a devastating season last year. Very few left-backs had a better season than Kerkez last season, and Liverpool have gone and signed him. By that logic alone, 40 million, 45 million, by that logic, it's either fair priced, or maybe even a whisper of a bargain. One of the best players in his position signs for Liverpool for how much money? If he's the best in his position, I don't know, 45 million quid? Sounds about right. So it really does feel like a very strong signing for Liverpool here. And when you look at Liverpool's manoeuvrings in the transfer window and you compare it to anyone else's, it's very difficult to see beyond them winning the league next year. They're making all the right noises, all the right signings, doing it early, doing it young, and doing it and doing it and doing it well. I represent Queen. She was raised out of Brooklyn. Right, there we have it. To be totally honest with you, this is getting frustrating. Liverpool are just getting it right. They're making intelligent signings. They're strengthening when they're already in a position of strength, and they are solving problems in their team that don't yet really exist. It's a steady ship, and they are running it really intelligently. Not great news for the rest of us, to be totally honest with you. Right, there we have it. They are my thoughts on this Kerkez to Liverpool signing. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you are new around here, I would love it if you would click that subscriber button, give the video a like, and have yourselves a wonderful day. In a bit, yo.